Chapter 7. Eloping isn't the word. After about a day of constant driving, we finally decided to stop at a cheap motel in order to regain some of our energy. At the same time, I took it as a good opportunity to try and recollect my thoughts. While the situation was certainly a byproduct of impulsiveness, maintaining this kind of brainless state of mind will bring us down in the long run. No matter how I looked at it, we needed a good plan if we wanted a shot at this. At first I thought that we had a few days ahead of us, but this presumption turned out to be completely wrong. As I tried to get a better picture of the whole situation, by asking her a few questions, I quickly found out that Cass was living with another hostess from the bar. That meant that even though Cass only worked once a week, the other hostess was bound to notice that she was missing. We could have contacted the girl and tried to convince her not to say a word to her boss, but this seemed too big of a risk for only postponing the inevitable as a result. Ultimately, we should assume that trusting someone would ultimately trigger the beginning of our downfall. I glanced at her emptily. While I'm stressing over our next set of actions, she's sleeping carelessly beside me. She seems to have almost stopped caring the moment she showed me that termination of hers. Seriously though, what am I doing? Going out of my way for what? Sleeping in some cheap-ass bed, eating disgusting convenience store food. All of this because of... No, what am I thinking? No matter how I look at it, I choose to be here of my own volition, right? I shouldn't hold it against her. Still, I know there's a darkness inside my heart that I've yet to get rid of. The same darkness that once whispered to me to destroy her. That eye isn't looking any better, huh? So, did you choose where we're going, my love? No. She asked shamelessly the moment we get into the car. Stop calling me that, it's disturbing. But we're eloping. I can at least call you that, right? No, we're not. Eloping would mean we're about to get married, and clearly we are not. But I want to marry you. I love you. We're going to live together from now on, so... She rests her head on my shoulder and smiles brightly. So what? There's no logic in this, and get off of me. I shake her off with no consideration for her feelings, or her well-being for that matter. Ooh, you're no fun. She sticks out her tongue like a little kid before turning away from me sulking. Man, she's a handful. I think I've decided our destination. I've thought long and hard about this, so what about Las Vegas? She turns back to face me with renewed vigor, sparkles in her eye. So does that mean we're really going to get married? I've always wanted to go to Las Vegas. Back off. I've chosen this out of convenience for us, not for your stupid fantasy. Actually, I know how much you wanted to go. She talked about it more than once already, so I might have taken that into account. But there's no way in hell I'm ever going to say that out loud. But I don't understand. Shouldn't we avoid big cities and try our chances in the countryside instead? Try and lay low or something? Aren't we asking to be found if we go to Las Vegas? Not necessarily. The best place to hide. A tree is inside a forest, correct? Logically, when you think about the best way to escape from a group such as the Mafia, you instantly think of hiding in a remote area far away from civilization. But isn't that exactly how our pursuers are going to think too? Maybe, but while that logic looks good on paper, it doesn't necessarily mean it will go as you anticipate. Las Vegas is known to be run by criminals, right? So it's not too far-fetched to think that people there have ties with our pursuers. If we go to a small, secluded space, a village or whatever, we'll attract a lot more unwanted attention. Everyone knows each other in those places, you know? And look at us. We're not really what you would call country bumpkins, right? And if you say so. She seems unnerved all of a sudden. She's scared. She shouldn't be. One more thing. I needed to understand this perfectly, or else this whole thing isn't worth it. Even if they do find us, it doesn't change a thing, does it? In the end, both our lives have never really been worth living. I won't waste the rest of my days in a boring place like a village, or crawling in fear inside a hole somewhere. My life has been nothing but boredom already. So, she looks at me with big round eyes, her head tilted in bewilderment. Let's make the most of it, alright? She regains that smile of hers so naturally. Her beautiful, pure, and blissful smile. The smile that I would have done anything to destroy before. I was now the sole source of its existence. I should have feel flattered by this. I should have, but how disgusting. Damn, oi! Ha 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 ha, you ain't gonna pull that on me, sucker. I was prepared. Anyway, thanks again. Wow, this is going actually nicely. Thank you so much for watching. Can't wait to see you guys in the next one. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed. And it's going to be a lot more where this came from. On wait, good and bye.
Failure ain't an option.